title of this video is Forgiveness. My opinion on forgiveness. So, this is an interesting topic because there's all this talk about you should forgive your abuser. And I want to make a practical view on it that is more grounded and more psychological. Because if you go around and you ask people for advice on forgiveness or their opinion, it's mostly about dogma. So, like the spiritual reason for why you should forgive. Oh, it's because if you forgive, then you are a good person. That's generally the idea. Now, I want you, if you're watching my channel, I want you to get away from the need to be a good person. Yeah? Because guess what? There's no such thing. There's no good person on this planet. Yes, there are people that do bad things, but your goal should not be to be a good person. Your goal should not be to aspire to be Jesus Christ, to be Buddha, or whatever prophet you want to use. Your goal should always be to be yourself. And to be yourself, you must connect to your feelings. That is why if forgiveness isn't coming from your feelings, it's fake. And the concept is actually toxic. And this is very important. So, let's start. First of all, I have never, not even once in my whole life, had any use for the concept forgiveness. Never. I've had lots of relationships, people, family members who did me wrong. And how did I handle it when they did me wrong? Well, by understanding why they did it and why I allowed it, and then by changing myself, by no longer doing what allows the toxic behavior to take place in my life. Because in life, nothing happens only once. If somebody does you dirty, forgiving them is not going to do anything to stop the behavior. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything to improve your life. It's not going to do anything to process anything of what happened. To process a bad event is to understand why it happened and then to do your best so it doesn't happen again. Forgiveness is neither here nor there. Has nothing to do with solving your problems, has nothing to do with making your life better. But now I can hear this voice inside of other people's head, the interject from the hive mind that says, oh, but if you forgive them, it's for you, so you feel better, so you don't hold on to resentment and the bitterness and the hate. That is the number one argument that you will hear all the time. So, first of all, let's get really real here. Bitterness, hatred, anger, these are emotions. These are feelings inside your body. Do you need to get rid of those feelings? If these feelings are your feelings, these feelings are real, it's the reality of what you're experiencing. What is it that you need to do? Why do we think that the first thing that we should do to process our anger is to forgive? Why? Instead, what do I do when I get angry? I use that anger to motivate me to make better choices, to change. Now, what happens if you forgive and you lose all that anger, you lose all that hatred? What's going to happen is that you lose your motivation. You lose your fuel. But wait a second, isn't it bad to be motivated by hatred and anger? Isn't that a low frequency? Well, if this low frequency of anger and hatred gets you to make better choices, to get healthier relationships, to have a healthier environment, to better understand yourself, to better understand other people, is it really toxic when the result is making everything in your life better? Hatred and anger, what are they about? Do you even understand these emotions? What is the reason why you experience them as a human? We experience them because we experience desire. Desire, when desire is unfulfilled, leads to frustration. When somebody does you dirty, they betray you, meaning that whatever you are holding on to, whatever you needed from them, you're not getting it. You're not getting what you want. So when we don't get what we want, it gets frustrating. That frustration is at the core of desire. As long as you want things, you will get frustrated if you don't get them. That is the nature of being human. The only way to get rid of anger and frustration and hatred completely is if you no longer want anything. And guess what happens if you don't want anything? You're not going to be motivated to change or improve your life in any meaningful way. Therefore, the root problem isn't anger, because it's not the root problem. The root problem is desire. Attachment. Attachment means something is very important to me. So if somebody hurts you by disrespecting you, what's important to you is to be respected, to be treated well. If you didn't care about being treated well, you wouldn't be angry. Therefore, the only way to not be angry is if you don't care. Therefore, to forgive, which is to lose your anger, it necessitates that you lose your desire for change. You can't have it both ways. You can't forgive and lose your anger while still maintaining your desire for things to be better. It's not going to work. Because desire and anger, they're one. Together, okay? You can't play mental gymnastics and separate these emotions. But here, people are lacking psychological awareness. Most people have no idea how the human body works. They don't know how emotions work. They don't know anything about why they're feeling something. They don't even ask what they're feeling. They're just, okay, I'm angry. But let's not even look at why I'm angry. Just forgive. Forgiving is skipping. Forgiving is bypassing. Forgiving is ignoring what you want. Because the problem is, as long as you want to get better, as long as you want to have healthier relationships, as long as you want to be treated better, there will always be anger when somebody treats you badly. So how often are you going to forgive? On a daily basis? Every week? Every month? All the time? Forgive, 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 forgive. And where is that going to lead you? When that forgiveness is diminishing, weakening your anger, aka your desire. What weakens your desire weakens you. Because desire is at the core of the inner fire that motivates you to do anything. Anything at all. Yes, desire hurts. Yes, desire makes you angry. But to forgive, to eliminate the essence of change is toxic. And this is why most people who are very heavily attached to the concept of forgiveness, they end up having to forgive again and again and again. they do end up having to do a lot of forgiving because it's not changing. They're not allowing themselves to be angry and not allowing themselves to feel the frustration that finally can be the catalyst to change and to heal. We are demonizing emotions. We are demonizing human nature by creating a problem where there is no problem. By rejecting your anger and hatred, you create more anger and hatred in return. By rejecting your need and your desire for things to be better, you are rejecting the possibility. You're rejecting healing itself. And that's a problem. You see, it's very simple actually. In a nutshell, forgiveness has a goal. The goal of forgiveness, if you go around and you ask people in the streets, you can ask hundreds of people, and I can assure you 90% of people will tell you the same thing. The goal of forgiveness is to get rid of your own negative emotions. That's it. That's the goal. And I'm telling you that your negative emotions are absolutely essential and you can't do without them. If you get rid of your negative emotions, if you treat your negative emotions as negative, you are rejecting yourself. You are rejecting your own nature. Therefore, forgiveness as a concept, it's a human concept. Animals in nature don't need to forgive. Animals don't forgive. They don't think about forgiving. But they still move on without forgiving. How does that work? Have you ever observed monkeys fighting each other over food or mates? And what happens after the fight is over? Do they hold resentment for each other and try to kill each other the next day? Or are they just moving on and going about their business like nothing happened? Most likely the latter. So if animals can move on, process all their negative emotions without forgiveness, why can't you? Why do you need this ridiculous concept when animals don't need it? But you need your extra Wurst, as we say in Germany. You need your special technique, your opponent, your prayer, whatever the fuck, because you're incapable of processing your nature. Really? Are we really so emotionally stunted that we require a crutch? This is a crutch, forgiveness, to feel better. That's it, right? The whole point of forgiveness is in the end, not only to get rid of negative emotions, but to just feel better. Well, for me personally, I feel better when my problems are solved, when the toxic people are gone, the boundaries are made, and I'm never gonna see their disrespect again. That's when I feel better. Of course I'm gonna see it again, but when I see it again, I'm gonna make a boundary because I do not forgive what they do. I simply make a boundary, and the problem is solved. And that negative energy that you so hate because you hate yourself, or whoever uses this ridiculous concept, instead of using that to improve their life, that hatred, they say, no, I must get rid of what I feel, my own fire. So then you're wondering if they're zombie-like, if they lack motivation, if these are passive people, pacifist. You know that word? Pacifist has the word passive in it. Because to be a pacifist, to avoid conflict, to be allergic to your own negative affectivity, is to be an enemy to your own nature. Therefore, forgiveness is a hostile concept. Hostile to you, to your body, to your feelings. It invades you. It tries to get into your mind, to come up with rationalizations of why what you feel is wrong and how it needs to be fixed. And in reality, there's nothing wrong with you. All you need to do is to use what you have. Because guess what? That hatred, that bitterness, that resentment is there for a reason. The body is not malfunctioning, doesn't need or want your forgiveness. If you ask a child that's very angry at another child, is very hateful, it's like, they destroyed my sandcastle and threw a stone at my head, I hate them. Are you going to tell them, oh no, you need to forgive? You need to forgive him. You need to do a handshake and say, I forgive you. How do you think the child is going to feel? The child is going to feel completely traumatized. Your asking for forgiveness is traumatizing that child. The child is going to freeze like, oh, something's wrong with my anger. I can't process my anger. My anger is wrong. Oh. That's what you're doing. You are creating a freeze response. You're creating a pathological defense mechanism in that child when you tell the child to forgive. So that's what you're doing to yourself. If you tell yourself, I need to forgive, you're creating a freeze response in your own body. Observe your body. Do not reject human nature. Do not fall for it. You are not an enemy to yourself. Accept yourself. Accept what your body is feeling. When your body says, I don't like forgiveness, believe it. Because it really does not, it does absolutely not like forgiveness. Because it's very simple. Very simple. Super easy to figure out. The next time somebody does you dirty, you feel anger or resentment, tell yourself to forgive and observe how your body reacts. Because if you're really listening and tuning in, you will notice there will be a cramp in your stomach. You know, I had this fight recently with a person, and then somebody told me, just forgive them. And the moment they told me to forgive them, that this massive cramp in my stomach, just cramping up like, I don't know, I don't want to forgive him, but I have to forgive him. It's your sense of identity. It's your own soul being blocked. It's mental illness to preach forgiveness. It's mental illness to ask others to do something that their own body doesn't want to do. So, how do you fix this? Simple. Why don't you ask that person? Why don't you ask yourself, do I want to forgive? Or do I just want to feel better? Because forgiving is not a necessity to feel better. You don't need to forgive to feel better. You just need to accept what you're feeling and ask yourself, what do I need? Why am I angry? What is the anger trying to show me? Because the anger comes from your inner protector trying to protect you from what's happening. Why is it trying to protect you? Because it wants you to be safe, wants you to get what you want, wants you to be happy. And forgiveness is an enemy of that happiness. Forgiveness is going to lead to false happiness, a false temporary high of, yeah, I don't need to change. I don't need to do anything. They don't need to apologize. We are good. It's like a distraction. It's like when you meditate and you focus on that point, so you don't have to deal with what's going on here. You're just focused. I am forgiving. Whatever is happening here is, I don't care, I forgive. It's sick. But of course, I'm not allowed to say this. All these shadows are now being triggered throughout this entire video. Most people who are into the concept of forgiveness would have probably unfollowed and stopped this video just in the first couple of minutes. So let's read the comments. As the rising Scorpio, forgiveness has been a challenge. Why is it a challenge? Scorpio is the most honest sign of the zodiac. Scorpio is connected to the root chakra. Guess what? That's exactly where you feel the stomach cramp if you try to forgive. Desire is an attachment in Buddhist psychology. Yes. Because there's no such thing as Buddhist psychology. There's no psychology in Buddhism at all. It's a religion. Religion is mental illness. It's a demonic thing, actually. Yeah? Because if you don't like your attachments, you don't like yourself. Because guess what? You are attached to many things. You're attached to happiness. Even if you don't get it, you're still attached to it. You want it, right? Or you are attached to health, right? Everybody wants to be healthy. And if you don't want to be healthy, maybe you are attached to just pleasure or feeling good. Like, I don't know. Aren't you attached to peace? Because that's the only reason why people get into Buddhism, because they're attached to peace. Then Buddhism says, don't be attached. But the reason why I got here is because I'm attached. So if I'm not attached, why should I still be here? It is mental gymnastics. It's a mental illness. Nothing more. I call this righteous anger. Yes, righteous. Do you think I'm just being like, yeah, you're all preaching forgiveness. I disagree, but I ignore what you're talking about. When there's a group of people around me, somebody is telling somebody to forgive, I'm going from 0 to 180 within less than half a second. Immediately I get that righteous anger. You know why? Because I see somebody preaching somebody else to forgive as an adult tyrant trying to tell a child to suppress all its emotions. It's a traumatizing, abusive act to tell somebody to forgive. It's abusive. So when I see that abuse, I get angry. You can damn right I get angry. Have you noticed that it's usually the criminals who want you to forgive? Of course I've noticed that. It's usually the gaslighters, the narcissists, the sociopaths, the mentally ill who want to forgive. And then they tell the codependent people who are unsure about themselves, like I was a few years ago, like I don't know what's right or wrong, I just try to make people happy and hope that it's working. You know? So as somebody tells me, you need to forgive me, I'm like, well, I want peace with you. I don't want us to be at conflict, so I guess I will forgive, even if it feels wrong. Even if it feels wrong, I will forgive, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I need somebody or some authority to tell me. And where do we go when we have no idea what we're doing? We go to the hive mind to listen to the group consciousness. Oh yes, everybody is preaching for forgiveness, therefore it must be true. Logical fallacy. Forgiveness is a choice, and there's no need to forgive if you cannot do it. Oh, I can't do it? Of course I can. If I allow my stomach to be cramped and suppress all my emotions, I can forgive. It's no problem. It's easy. Brother, I've been suppressing my emotions many times in my life. It's no problem. Problem is, if you suppress your emotions, you get sick. There are something I don't forgive, and I'm relieved to hear this. Yes, of course you're relieved. Because your body says, so I can actually be angry. And notice how you feel better, right? Because the goal to forgive is to feel better. But if ignoring that ridiculous concept and just accepting your feelings makes you feel better. Why do you need to forgive if you're already getting it? If something is unjust, it is traumatizing and abusive to ask them to just forget and forgive. Absolutely. It's very abusive. If you have a child and another child is throwing a stone at your child's head, which I hope never happens, but let's say it does, and your child gets angry, to get revenge on that child, to make a boundary, to assert itself, to give negative consequences to evil actions, right? And you tell that child, no, you need to forgive. Don't give negative consequences to bad actions. Don't do what's right. Just forgive. Then you are the holy heaven vow, and you are a good person. It's abusive. It's evil. To allow evil to be unpunished, to be an enabler. Forgiving is an enabler strategy. Have you ever looked into who actually came up with this concept? Where does forgiveness come from? Why do we talk about it? To be honest, I have no idea. Do you think I'm omniscient? Omniscient? No, I'm not. Maybe if somebody knows where this is coming from, it would be interesting. But if I'm thinking about it, forgiveness, who needs this? Why does somebody tell somebody to forgive anyways? What is that? Be honest with yourself. Don't forget the hive mind is trying to invade your mind, is trying to loop all these voices, all this trash from the collective. Just cut it out, go within, and ask yourself, why do I need this concept? Why would somebody need to forgive? What do you get out of it? Because I get nothing. Nothing. My hatred, my anger goes away the moment I make healthy boundaries. Then it's gone. It doesn't go away if you forgive. If you forgive, all of this negative emotion is being pushed down into the subconscious, outside of your awareness. It's still there. Still there. Forgive. What is that? Is that some kind of a process in the body? What can I do with this? Forgive. I can understand the concept to accept. Yes, I can accept the evil around me. Wait a second. Why would I accept the evil around me? Do you see how ridiculous this is? Even if I used a better word, like accepting. Why would I accept evil? What do I get out of it? Yes, I get peace of mind. Peace of mind. Meanwhile, there's rocks being thrown in my head. There's arrows being shot at me, and I'm saying, I accept. Like, what do you call it? Jesus on the cross. It's a religious programming. Jehovah's implants, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So this is a collective trauma. I need to die for your sins, and then all will be forgiven, right? Forgiven. It will be given it will be given away. I don't need to hold on to it. I don't need to do anything with it. I don't need to punish evil. Don't need to resist evil. Just forgive, just accept. Who benefits? You, with your peace of mind. Actually, it's not you who benefits, it's your mind that benefits. You feel better. Meanwhile, all the evil around you still is going around unpunished. And where's the anger? Where's the hatred? Where's the justice? Where's the vengeance? Where is it? Because I see almost none of it. I see most people suppressing, avoiding, burying their head in the sand. We are surrounded by evil day in, day night. We have governments trying to control what you're doing, trying to dictate what goes into your body, trying to muzzle you. Where is the hatred? Where's the anger? When I fucking need it. No, just forgive. Forgive the government. Forgive our abusers. And what do I gain from it? I still do not understand that part. Yeah, I don't understand. What do I get? Nothing. Cool, huh? Isn't it interesting? I mean, why would somebody hold on to a concept that gives you nothing? It's just like a drug addiction, isn't it? Just like alcohol, smoking. Yeah, I take this drug, I feel better. Oh, but then I need to do it again. I need to forgive again. And again. And again. And again. Meanwhile, I don't need to change. I don't need to make boundaries. Oh, but if I make boundaries and I do change, why do I still need forgiveness if all the abusers are gone? Gone because I made boundaries. Why do I need forgiveness? Tell me. Ah, yes, because I'm supposed to be some kind of caricature or something. Because somebody, the hive mind, some kind of monkey, is assuming that 10 years later, I would still have this poisonous hatred in my body about this person who wronged me 10 years ago. Really? Really? I never used the concept of forgiveness. And I've had somebody who did me so wrong just a few years ago, so badly, and I don't care. I don't have any resentment for this person. Don't have any anger. Why? Because I fixed all my problems. I made sure that I never get abused in that manner again. So why would I be angry? I know I'm not going to be abused again. I'm fine. I'm doing well. So why do I need to forgive? I'm fine. Jesus. What I'm not fine with is this ridiculous concept. This ridiculous concept, what a joke. Toxic. It's really, really toxic, yeah? When you really understand just how little this concept is really serving you, how it's just a distraction, just a form of avoidance, just like a coping mechanism. Yeah, let me forgive so I don't need to fix my problems. It's that simple. Because if you don't forgive, what happens then? If somebody does you wrong but you don't forgive them, then you're angry. What does the anger want you to do? Take action. Change. That's all. Why is it so bad to be angry? Use that anger, change, heal, and then get rid of the anger naturally. Why is that such a horrible thing that we need to avoid so badly that we need this ridiculous concept? We don't. We don't. It's just an illusion. It's a lie. So somebody has lied to us, and now we're supposed to perpetuate that lie. And anybody who challenges, questions this ridiculous concept is a bad person. Right? If I go online and I write, oh, this ridiculous concept, don't come to me with this. Do you know how many commenters I get who are just abusing me in the comments? Simply because I say no to a concept. A concept. Because why? It threatens their identity. I make an identity around, oh, I'm such a forgiving person. I am like Jesus on the cross. I am this holier than thou being. I don't know what the fuck is up with people. Why is there this need to protect, like a business brand or something, this concept? What is so beneficial about it that you need it so badly? I do not see the benefit. It's not there. What is there is an identity. Oh, I'm such a good person. Look at me. You don't forgive. You are a bad person, which means I'm a really good person because you're bad. I'm good. You're bad. That's called splitting. It's a psychological, pathological defense mechanism. It's what narcissists do. You're bad. I'm good. You're bad. But wait a second. in order for me to be good, you need to be bad. In order for me to be good, I need to forgive, and then watch those who are not forgiving. Ah, you don't forgive, so I'm better. Yes. It's a competitive, really narcissistic, mentally ill mindset. To think you're superior to other people because you forgive, and then look down on others like there's something wrong with them for not forgiving. What do we call that? Evil. Because I would smash his face if I do what my anger wants. Well, I understand that your anger wants to smash the person's face, but you don't need to do that. What your anger really wants is to put an end to the abuse. To put an end to the abuse is to put an end to them. But you don't need to end them. You just need to get rid of them from your life. That's all. And your anger is happy. You know. It's just about perspective. Like, what does my anger actually want? Why am I actually in need to smash their face in? Well, because I'm not actually in need to smash their face in. I just want to protect myself. Just want justice. And justice means that evil is opposed. How do you oppose evil? There's many ways to do it. You don't need to use violence. But of course, sometimes violence can be very effective. Sometimes violence is healthy. But of course, we don't want to talk about that, right? In this civilized society, right? Where we are not allowed to give people what they give to us. Oh no, don't take revenge. You are better than them. You are the better person. The best revenge is to be happy. Yeah, of course, the best revenge is to live my life and do well. No, actually, no. That is not a revenge. What the fuck? How is that a revenge? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, of course, my life is better than theirs is, because we are losers and I'm a winner. But how is that revenge? I don't feel like I'm getting revenge here. I'm getting what I want, which is why I'm no longer angry at these people. So I'm good. But revenge? No. But why do we need revenge in the first place? Why do we want it? Well, because it's very simple. If somebody hurts you, you have two choices. You can either leave and disappear, and then be hurt by somebody else, probably. Or you can figure out a way to protect yourself. It's just a reaction, you know, revenge. Like, somebody hurts me, I need to protect myself. It's not about them. Who has been so delusional to accuse us and themselves that revenge is about the abuser? It's not. Revenge is about you. Revenge is about you getting something that's very important to you. So, for example, I also had times where I wanted revenge. And every time I felt that revenge, it was symbolic. Something that wasn't really... It had nothing to do with the other person. It was about how something bad had happened to me, and the only way to make it stop is to punish those who are responsible. Why do we have a law? Why do we send people to prison? Why do we give them fines for breaking the law? Just because you don't call it revenge, just because you call it the law, doesn't mean that there's any mother effing difference. Revenge, the law, same action, same consequence, same emotions behind it. Why are we making this like it's something evil? We don't say the law is evil, right? Of course, the government law is evil, obviously, I know. But what about spiritual law? What about do no harm? What about do others as you want to be treated? Is this just like irrelevant? And if we want to punish people for mistreating the law, we are bad people. We are evil. Like, really? So, enforcing the law, executing on it, is evil. Because again, I do not see the difference. What is the difference between taking revenge and executing the law? It's no difference. Zero. So whoever made up this, oh, revenge is so evil, have no idea what they're talking about. They have not thought this through. It's just bad thinking. Bad thinking. And why do we think badly? Why is our brain not working? What is wrong with our logic as a collective? Do you know? Do you know what's wrong with people? Why can't they use their brains? Why is it so hard? Like, seriously, what is this? Because we are living in a hive mind. And whatever the hive says, goes. We are taught from a very young age to ignore your senses. Your senses. It's not just logic in the brain. It's logic in your soul, in your mind, in your body, in your flesh. Your entire being is involved in how you perceive the world, how you interact with reality. But with the hive mind, on an extremely small portion, which is like a small part of your brain, is really involved. And that is why people are so irrational. For example, who are the most irrational people on the planet? Narcissists. Narcissists are very logical, constantly ignoring your emotions, your senses, they're ignoring their own senses. They do very embarrassing things that don't make any sense, that are just cringy. They are this uncanny valley effect. You can tell it's fake what they're doing. Why can't they tell that they appear fake? Because their senses aren't working. They're only perceiving reality with a very small portion of their brain, which is rational intellectual mind. Mercury. So, Mercury, it's very fact-based, but there's nobody to check. Nobody to check if the facts are really facts. Facts? That's what everybody says, right? Everybody agrees here. We have consensus, so it's a fact. But what if your body disagrees? What if your feeling disagrees? Oh no, it's just your feeling. Just get over it. Don't be a baby. Don't be immature. It's a hive mind. It's called brainwashing. MK Ultra programming. Literally. It's MK Ultra. So we are supposed to use this ridiculous concept forgiveness and not call it ridiculous, but I will call it ridiculous because I love to. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And I should not enjoy my opinion on the subject. I should ignore my senses and just cooperate with the collective, which of course knows better than me, right? Because my senses have to be wrong. My stomach cramp has to be a delusion. That's what we're dealing with here, this brainwashing, evil shit. I wish it was that simple, but sometimes it won't stop. Yeah, what to do, right? If they don't stop, then... I mean, who am I to stand in the way of of this, you know, if somebody mistreats you and you want to get back at them, I'm not going to stop you. I definitely am not. But guess who's going to stop you? The flying monkeys, the enablers, the holier than thou. Oh, you need to forgive him. They are going to try to stop you from punishing evil. But what are they doing about the evil person? Are they helping you? Are they stopping the evil? Are they making boundaries or punishments? No. They would rather tell you how you are the abuser for just wanting to defend yourself. Ridiculous. And this is what we're dealing with. So, yeah. That is my video on this subject. Forgiveness. If anybody has any more questions, leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you're interested in my services, my astrology readings, or my somatic embodiment work, where I work really with your senses and try to get you to connect to your own senses. Not listen to me, but listen to them, listen to you. If you're interested in working with those techniques and doing a session, please let me know. And if you like this, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.